It's me, Ryan Carter. I love cookies, and I don't like dainty cookies. So if you don't like dainty cookies, T-Rex cookie is the thing for you. They're baked right here in Minnesota, and they bring you a local flavor that can't be beat. And whether you're at XL Energy Center looking for a nice, huge 7-inch treat or grabbing a frozen dough pack from Cub Foods, you're supporting homegrown goodness when you eat T-Rex cookies. This is Wild on 7th, your favorite Wild podcast. Did you guys see this? This is unbelievable. What is that all about, Kinger?
Get in here for the real thing. Like, let's get weird.
Maybe I blacked out trying to figure out what was going on.
Doubt, worry, fear, because that's what we're breaking the mold on here.
Welcome to Wild on 7th, presented by Pilot Games. We're here until it's here.
Welcome back to Wild on 7th, your favorite Wild podcast, presented by Pilot Games. When you're out enjoying your drinks, your libations, in between games at your out-of-town hockey tournaments, your local hockey tournaments, make sure you grab one of the tablets and use Pilot Games products, because when you do, your community wins. And that feels good. I was just at an out-of-town tournament.
Yes. How did the folks behave? Did you have any lobby left, right, center? Was it a slippery
There was
slope?
some lobby horse race. The schedule. So White Bear Lake took over this tournament in Duluth. I think we had a team at every level, so there was a lot of crossover too.
Yep.
And I think we more or less had an entire hotel. White Bear Lake did. So it was fun, but it was tame. Yeah, it was good.
As a coach, how loose can you get? Can you mingle in there, or do you got to always be like, you play like the first horse race game, and then you're like, I'm going to retire for the evening, and you go back to your room? Like, or can you it feels like it's a gray area. Like, you can kind of have fun, but then you got to sneak away.
I think that entirely depends on the schedule. Don't you?
I don't know. Well, you have
if it's between games, no, I don't think you play at all.
No, you're not in the parking lot between games. But I just didn't know, if it's a Friday night at the hotel at 1, can you be there as a coach, or do you gotta go in your coach's room with just the coaches and have 2 beers?
Again, I think that depends on the schedule. If the first game the next day is at 9 in the morning, no, you probably should.
Yeah.
If it's at 3 in the afternoon.
So you're treating yourself like you're a pilot. Well, when is the game? When do I need to be ready? And let's just make adult decisions.
Right.
Okay. That makes sense. I wasn't able to do that, unfortunately, as much as you probably can. But how did it go? How was the tournament?
Good. Right now, the 10U squad is a lot like the Wild in that they beat the teams that they should. So we went up first day. We were great. Great.
I did check. I checked on you guys. Yeah, you were on a heater.
But they had out-of-town tourney excitement day one.
Yeah, you came out of the gates.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hot.
Yeah, no, big numbers. Yeah, I saw it. And then you ran into a little something called cake and a little something called lake, as I gathered at the end of each journey. Win, bing.
So
win, bing.
So I have this other theory.
I want to hear this.
With 10Us or potentially squirts, afternoon games for them, and it's both sides. So, but this is what I found with my clubs over the last couple of years. The energy level is always really low.
In the afternoon.
Yes.
So you need to get them in the morning.
Morning or evening, because they're used to the school schedule where they get up, they get going during the day, they get home from the bus at whatever time. My kids get home at 2.
And they lay around
They
for
do nothing. They need to chill. That's their recharge time.
Yeah, so you were
evening again.
Yeah, you don't want to be playing during juice box time.
No, and we were good in our games that were not afternoon games. So we played Edina, and Edina they were good. They beat us, but we were tired. Same thing. We win the first game Sunday morning. The schedule for this tournament was rough too. Out-of-town tournament, first game 9 o'clock.
Yeah, thank you very much.
9 o'clock on Friday morning. Second game Friday at noon or something like that. And then all of a sudden you have one game Saturday. So we had 2 Friday, 1 game Saturday at 1 or 2 in the afternoon.
And then did you have 2 on Sunday?
And then 2 on Sunday.
That is so weird.
Yeah.
And you did run into Edina and Minnetonka.
Yeah. So Edina.
So you're wild like. You beat all the teams you're supposed to beat, and you're still trying to get over the hump on some of these other ones.
Yeah. So and we were close to getting into the championship bracket. I think it was a tiebreaker. We needed to give up one less goal in the tournament, and we would have gone to the championship bracket. But that put us into the consolation bracket, and then we won the first game, and then the consolation championship game was the one against Minnetonka, and we got spanked.
Well, it's early. You're still learning.
It's no longer early, but it was fun. It was a good tournament. Schedule was tough. But watch out for those afternoon games. If you're a tournament scheduler and you're listening to the podcast, have the hometown team play their games in the morning and in the evening. I think it gives
I like that because I remember as a kid, we'd roll home, the three brothers, and get a little bag of Cheetos, watch G.I. Joe and Little House on the Prairie, and just kind of like sit there. You needed some time to just like relax. Yeah, you don't want to be playing Edina Green in the juice box hour. You want to get evening early.
Yeah, early.
Dog on a bone.
Yes.
Even if it's 9 a.m, and then let's get to prime time.
Yeah.
Because
if you're the underdog, that's what you need. Because energy's your friend. Yes.
I love that. It's a really hot take if you can get to the scheduler. Well, while you were away, do you want to know the present state of the Wild?
Yes.
Okay. So I've been kind of fascinated because if we were a deck of cards right now, we got a lot of face cards out of the deck. A lot. It would be like your horse racing game. We're scratching Kirill, we're scratching Brodeen, we're scratching Faber, we're scratching Spurgeon. So we got a lot of face cards out of the deck. And I was telling the guys earlier, it's like a Western when there's a huge group out hunting and somebody attacks the people that are still at the base. And that's what I feel like. We got a bunch of guys from the American League. You got Foligno punching helmets. You got Bogo on a first pair with Midzi. It's like we're just trying to hold our ground. And we did it against San Jose, despite being considerably outshot. And then we've had kind of a tough one, Colorado and Vegas. But I think any fan watching is sort of like, man, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, the stagecoach is tipped over to the side. Half the guys are away from the base, and they're coming for us. And I will say Hines has built, I would just say we're strong. Like the way I watch us, even when everything is against us, we look like I've just never seen them quit. I mean, I think the effort's been really good. I do see Hines blinking a little bit. This is like the first time I've seen him like yelling at a ref or getting upset about something. Because I think he feels it, right? It's like we're cutting into bone and muscle. There's just not enough there. We need some guys to come back. So it's been it's kind of fascinating to watch as a fan. It's like, well, how's this gonna go? Everybody's out and we're playing Colorado, and but same thing's been going. We're kind of winning the games we're supposed to, and I guess the tough teams are getting a little bit more lopsided now.
And I think if you're so back to your Hines thought on the fact that you're starting to see some animation from him.
Yeah, he is animated. I mean, for the first time ever this season, I think he's kind of like you can tell he can feel how hard it is for the guys right now.
Well, and I think just look at the standings, and that's probably part of the reason why. Like the Wild have been terrific. They have 58 points right now. They're second in the Central, but they're only 5 points north of Colorado.
And by the way, out of the playoffs is 47 points. We have 58. I mean, to me, it's like kind of mind blowing. Like we've done everything. They've been just on a heater, and it's
closer than you think. That's still a huge gap.
It is 11 points, and there's.
When you talk about 58, that's a 25% uptick from where they are. That's a 5-game skid and a 5-game winning streak. I don't think the teams on the outside the playoffs have won 5 in a row, and the Wild certainly haven't lost 5 in a row. So there's more cushion there than what it seems, but also I think you're looking at the standings and saying, okay, well, the Central's tough. You've got Dallas, you've got Colorado, Winnipeg, but you'd really love to find a way to get to be that one spot.
Yeah.
And not have to play 2 or 3 in the Central.
Yeah. Also, that format just sucks.
Yeah.
We got to get rid of that. That whole trying to create rivalries whenever they decided that like 8 years ago. Yeah, we're done with that. How about 1 play 8, 2 play 7, 3 play 6, 4 play 5? Let's just do that.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It does get
It's
brutal when you
absolutely
have
insane.
one division that's loaded.
Terrible.
And then the other side just gets
Colorado, Dallas, Winnipeg. That's who we're going to start with? Awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
But so with Hines, I think like he understands the importance of these points and where they are right now. So I think he does realize that they almost have to play a perfect game to be able to beat some of these teams. It's possible for them to beat them, but they have to be really good and they have to have all their details dialed. So Hines probably feels like, well, I have to have the right line combos. I have to make the switches at the right time. We have to get the calls. We have to score on our chances, and the game has to be perfect with a depleted roster. And if it goes right, and he manages everything perfectly, they do have a chance to win. So I think you start to see why you might see some animation there from him a little bit where we haven't in the past. He doesn't have the guys that can climb him out of a hole all of a sudden if they're down a couple of goals. Doesn't have the guys that can separate. The power play looks a lot different. Doesn't have a top shutdown D pair. Like he's missing a lot of stuff.
I mean, that San Jose game could easily go the other way. I mean, they outshot us. Celebrini is a handful, but the one line was able to get into the O-zone, and San Jose makes a lot of mistakes in their own end when you get some pressure on them consistently. And Flower was great. I mean, but we've just been eking it out. I mean, he can feel it for sure, Hines. All of these games are hard. The Vegas game started out like, Hartman gets the goal. It's like, who knows? Maybe this is another little Carolina, Washington. Like we're going to defy all the odds. But not so much. Vegas and Colorado are tough.
I think the other thing, if we're reading between the lines on John Hines being a little more animated, is maybe he has information that we don't. And this might be a good time to kick in the Bosch Law injury report. We're without Kirill, we're without Brodin, no Faber, no Spurgeon,
no Lauco.
Yep, and he might have a better idea of the timeline on their return than what we do. Like it's my understanding that Kirill's like day to day, like he could be back any moment.
I like that they say he's skating, but I've never seen him skating. So I picture him on like that Shaun White private, like he's got private ice somewhere. And he's just out there alone or maybe with Andy Ness. Like, have you seen him around?
Just in like some cold old barn where he's breathing, and there's like.
Yeah, they talk about him skating, but have you seen him?
No, but.
Where is that happening?
But they've been gone, so maybe he was skating at Tria.
I guess maybe
with Andy Ness.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like some guys are going to come back this week with the 2-game week. I sure hope so.
Yeah, and we don't know on Brodin. I don't think we.
So that was a shot block.
Yeah, we know what happened, but we just don't know a set timeline.
No, and I will say, you in the same episode where you were talking about Hines having great feel, you also had great feel. You were like, hey, sure are playing Brodin and Fabes a lot. Hope we don't break our toys. And then I'm watching the next game, and they both go down. I'm like, dang it, Carts. Yeah.
So I jinxed it.
Well, we don't believe in that anymore. We're positive, glass half full, but you were like, hey, I'm telling you, if you play this much, someday you turn the wrong way, you're second slow here or there, and it adds up. But, yeah, we played pretty hard with those two guys.
Yeah. They had to. That's unfortunate. No, I've had a couple people call me out on jinxing it.
You can feel it. That was good.
But in all fairness, Brodin got hurt in his 33rd minute of a 60-minute game.
Correct.
So he was out there a ton.
Yeah, no, he was out there a ton. And that they got stuck on that shift. That was like, that's what I mean. There is this metaphor of like this It reminds me of like a Taylor Sheridan 1883. It's like
So is that the show that you're thinking of?
yeah, it's like
the metaphor, because I just watched it.
yeah, I'm picturing like Faber and Kirill and these guys are off on an expedition. They're away from camp, and then camp is just getting attacked, and it's like Bogo and Moose and Rossi and Boldy and women and children. I don't know. It just seems like it's been it's a tough stretch right now.
I've got to talk about that show in a minute. But what is the when you're watching that? What does the director and the producer, what do they want you to feel? Like anxious? Because
they want you to feel scared. It's like, I don't know which one you're watching, but 1923 Spencer is away. Like their toughest.
1883.
1883 is my favorite. That's by far my.
You like that one?
I loved it. I think it's the perfect show. My favorite Taylor Sheridan, yeah. With the female narrator, the woman.
Yeah.
Brutal, violent, so good. You like 1923 better?
I haven't seen it, but 1883 I thought was terrible.
Oh, I thought it was the best.
I almost couldn't watch it.
Oh, it's so good. And her voice, it's just so great.
Everything was doomsday. Yeah. All day, every day. You think this is hard, it gets harder.
It was hard.
And then you think this is hard, it only gets harder. Winter has.
We're going through it right now with the Wild. I mean, it's hard. All these guys.
So do you feel anxious like that? Like, are you feeling all those feelings?
I feel very anxious.
You said that like
right
you like it's kind of fun to watch too.
I want to see what's going to happen. Yeah, I'm like, at this point with this many guys out, it doesn't matter if it's San Jose or Colorado. I'm watching because I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm like, I'll be like, well, we're better than San Jose even with these guys out. But then, that was a little scary. And then I'm like, God, could you imagine if we beat Colorado with all of our guys out? That'd be cool. Not so much. But, yeah, I mean, it's totally it's not a normal circumstance.
No, and that's what's different about those shows is like you're always just waiting for the Cowboys to come over the hill on their horses and save you. It's like, where are the Cowboys right now? Where are they? Get over the top of that hill.
Moose is finally just icing his hand. Bogo's just cut something out of fur. They think everything's safe, and then the guys come over the hill, Ratnan or whoever would be on the horse. Maybe it's Middleton's brother, for all I know, riding over. But, yeah, it's been stressful. I would like some reinforcements. It's time to get some of those guys back.
Let's start with some refreshments. Where would you go get some of those if you're waiting for reinforcements?
Oh, I would definitely go over to Cub. I think Cub is the best. It's just local. They love sports. They support the Wild. They support the Gophers. Twins, all of it. And I would roll in there and I would get some beverages. You can get that at Cub. Not all of them, but some of them they do deliver. Whether you're eating healthy or you're getting ready for the NFL playoffs and just want some goodies and some snacks, you can't do any better than Cub. They're one of us and they're wonderful. That's Cub.
Good stuff.
How about for you?
Well, for me, this is an ad for Aquarius Home Services.
Okay,
Thank you for the transition.
You're welcome.
And if you're having furnace troubles, Aquarius can fix it. Don't let the cold take over. Keep your home worry-free and warm, Kinger. I have noticed a couple drafts in my house. That's true, but you know that I have a ton of issues. But right now you can save $98 on repairs. You get reliable furnace repair from a company you trust in Aquarius Home Services. Schedule your visit today, aquariushomeservices.com. Get your heat back, get it fast, stay comfortable, earning the right to be recommended, Aquarius Home Services. And don't forget to mention that Wild on 7 sent you.
Ooh, I like that touch. That's nice.
Yeah, it's new, right?
What would they do with that information? Some guys just taking his booties off in your home, and you're like, Wild on 7 sent me.
They'd say.
Do you think he's armed with like what to do? Like he has notes about like if anyone says this to you,
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I think it'd just be good.
I do hope that
share the love.
I think that's a good idea. We should do that for sure.
So who had before we move on from the Colorado game, how about Jake Middleton coming back? I think it wasn't a coincidence he came back the game before his brother comes to town.
He was so happy.
Yeah.
There's this phrase, grinning like a Cheshire cat. I remember hearing this I don't really know what that means. I don't know if like Garfield is a Cheshire cat, but Middleton's face that entire night when he came back, they would just show him on the bench, and he would just be like this, like, well, this is great. I think at the time you thought he had 2 goals. I think it ended up being a goal and an assist. And then pregame when his brother was there, he was so happy just to watch him. And he's such a great guy. And his brother seems kind of scary too, like a Hemsworth sort of dude, maybe chirping Moose a little bit in the game.
Looked like,
I was
did
like,
you see that?
Whoa. I don't think that's a good plan, but yeah, and then Jake was kind of like, well, what are you going to do?
I didn't know what was going on there. If they're like,
I don't. It seemed like it was real.
yeah, like it was not friendly.
No, it wasn't friendly, or like, so you're supposed to be the tough guy on this team. I don't know what was happening, and I don't know protocol on that. You would know. So how does that work? So obviously Jake loves his brother and was so happy to be playing in an NHL game, but if the brother starts popping off to Moose, then the brother answers the bell. That's just how it works. It's just the code.
Oh yeah, I think so.
I mean, but if you like set the brother down and, give him the gentle rest onto the ice, that's weird. And then you get back to the bench and like, sorry about your brother.
Yeah.
He needs to stop talking so much.
Yeah. Well, you do know that exact scenario played out with me.
With the dad.
Yeah, with the dad.
Why'd you fight Marcus?
You should have told me.
His hands are like concrete. No, I know. But yeah, so yeah, Jake being happy was great. He jumped right in. Related also, Foligno, no love lost for Ryan Suter. If you watch those two play each other in that St. Louis game before, every time there's a scrum, if you kind of zoom in, Marcus is like holding Suter's jersey by the chest, just like screaming stuff at him. So I don't know what the history there is from back in the day, but it seems like those two aren't the best of buds.
Well, I think Marcus probably knows too that if you go to finish a hit on Suter and he wants to play hard against him, there's a chance there. And the Wild, I think we're able to turn the puck over a couple times against him too. I think it was probably I don't know if there's history. I didn't play with the both of them at the same time. No idea if there's history. I just know Marcus, and he's done. Actually, I was saying this in the broadcast. He's done a good job lately, like pulling guys back into the fight. I know we say that as a cliche a little bit.
He's been huge.
Yeah,
helping us get through. He's the guy at the camp when they keep coming over the hill.
Yeah.
And he's just fixed his hand, and he's got to go again. By the way, punching a helmet must be terrible. I mean, I just watched him just hit a helmet like 15 times last night, and then he actually like got the guy's helmet off eventually. But I mean, that's a cumulative thing, right? If you keep punching helmets, does your hand ever feel good?
No, punching anything sucks. For the record,
seems like better to hit
at least
flesh than helmet, though.
Yeah. Oh, but if you I think hitting a head is actually probably harder on your hand than hitting a helmet. There's a little cushion with a helmet.
Good to know.
But the helmet will cut your hand. That's the other hard part. And now they all have visors, except for 6 guys. So they all have visors. So that's another thing that will cut you. But yeah, that's why it's terrible.
Yeah, he's done a good job of. And they all kind of look the part. Even Bogo on that top pair with Middleton. It's like, we just keep getting back up, keep getting knocked down, keep getting back up. And I think that's been instilled since the start of camp. I do think we're a strong group with a lot of, fortitude, I guess you would say. But it's about time, like, we're on E. Like, it's time to get dudes back.
And don't you think that that's part of Heinz's anxiety? Where it's like we've built a lot, and
it can
a lot of strides, and things are going well, and you need some luck to be able to build the resolve, the confidence, like the mentality to win, all of that. It takes time,
and you can mess it up,
and it can disappear.
Yep.
It's like confidence; it could disappear overnight, and he's just like, "Let's go." Got to keep it going.
I completely agree. It's the feeling of like you didn't put gas in your car and you're trying to see how far past E you can go. I mean, we're, it's time. It's time to get to pull over and get some reinforcements. I really hope some of these guys are going to come back. I don't care who it is. Lauko, could be a shot in the arm. Give us one of the defensemen back. Maybe Kirill. I mean, that's a massive one. But, yeah, it's time to get some positive news.
Well, yes. And I think the other danger is that this could occur. When you have a guy of Kirill's stature, abilities, we'll call it, out of the lineup, I think it does polarize everybody. And they're like, we have to be better. And I think guys are playing better and almost to the top of their abilities. But then when the superstar comes back, everybody kind of says, and that's when
And they relax.
they're like, oh, thank goodness we made it.
Yeah. We got to the other side.
Right. So that's going to be like the next hurdle. Once you start to get some of these guys back, can everybody else continue to play with the same amount of urgency that they're playing with right now? I mean, I think you look on the ice, it's harder for them to generate offense. You've got the one line, San Jose, that was terrific. Rossi, Boldy, Zuccarello. Yeah. They're good. And they're going to get you your looks every night. Your point, probably. Some nights, 2 points. But you do have to get it from other places. That's why it's nice to have 2 lines, 2 power plays, 3 lines, whatever it might be, a 4th line that can chip in. And they do need dynamic scoring help right now. You could tell they do not have Kirill. Like the Colorado game, the difference, Rantanen and McKinnon.
Yep.
How did Colorado pull away? They're 2 studs. The couple of things that the Wild are missing at this moment. And I think it's the same with the Vegas game. Vegas wore them down a little bit more, but it's what they didn't have. And you look at the San Jose game. San Jose has good players that, like Celebrini, but they're not Kirill, right? And I think Kirill being in that game changes it, where they're not getting outshot all of a sudden.
No.
40-20. It's probably Wild 30, San Jose 25, especially if their D are there too. But that's the next challenge. Once they get guys back, can they play with the same urgency and keep what they've built going?
Well, for a lot of them, they're going to get the break, right? They're going to get besides, I guess 5 of our players are not, but they're going to have that like 10-day break, which is going to be well-deserved for whether it's Trennan or Hartman or whoever's getting Foligno getting the rest. But, yeah, it's crazy. Those other guys, Brodin, Eck, Gus, Fabes, Bolds, they're right into the next gauntlet in Boston and Montreal. But, yeah, I think you're right. Hines he can feel it. It's like, let's not blink. Let's not start to worry or stop believing. But, yeah, we need a shot in the arm right now to help us. I think you're getting to the point where you're almost asking too much, I think.
What would the best shot in the arm be? Like looking at the schedule coming up right now this week, which it probably is a positive thing that they only have 2 games.
We know what it is. So we got Edmonton. So if somehow miraculously Brodin was back for that game and we had a little bit of McDavid kryptonite, that would be pretty cool. Then we roll to Nash for a road game Saturday night. Maybe we spin 97 into that situation so we don't get caught in the mud. Get Brock back. I tell you, even like Lauko, I just think we need. These guys have been grinding. I think, you got Lauko running into your locker room with cotton candy grapes, running his mouth, feeling good, light on his feet. Like, you're going to feel that. We just need some new energy. It's been hard. A lot of high body count right now.
I think you're right. Brodin coming back would be...
That's huge.
Great shot
against Edmonton would just be like, settle down.
Because the last time they played Edmonton, they were without Brodin.
And it was not good. Yeah.
Were you at that one? Was that here? Yeah, 7-1.
Yeah, I was not.
Yeah, 7-1 game at home. So the Wild are going to have, unfortunately, faced Edmonton if Brodin can't get back in time twice over the last month without Brodin.
Yeah, that's not good.
No.
But I don't know. I mean, they're doing what we're asking them to do. But, yeah, we need some help.
Yeah. Edmonton, Nashville, then back on the road to Colorado on that next Monday.
Not a bad week to just have 2 games as we're trying to get healthy, though. I'll
really,
say that.
Really good.
We've had a lot of weeks of 3s and 4s, and It'll be good. Zuccarello's been kind of ageless. That's been fun to see. I mean,
Did you see that stat on the broadcast a little bit?
that was wild.
35 and over crowd. So most points in a game by guys, or points per game by guys 35 and over.
He's a point a game guy.
Yeah, Alex Ovechkin, which is still a great story, 1.19. Sidney Crosby, 1.07. Then it's Matt Zuccarello. He's tied with Kopitar. Malkin's right below that. So it's pretty impressive how well he's played. And he's one of these guys that has had like a different career trajectory than an Ovechkin, a Crosby, a Kopitar, right?
Yep.
Like I don't think you talk about Zuccarello in the same breath as those guys,
He's very unique.
but he's producing at the same level.
I mean, he's a passer, first and foremost. The dude loves to pass. He will shoot. He does score. But I enjoy watching him play. My favorite, we've talked about this, it happened last night when he makes a mistake and has to chase a guy down to fix it.
How fast he is.
There's nobody better. I mean, this guy, if he's fumbled a puck and somebody's got it going the other way, like he turns into Superman. I mean, he's going to do everything in his power to make sure that's not on him. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's kind of a classic hockey thing, right? Just from the core. But, I mean, he's been
I
great.
think that illustrates his intelligence too. Like
Yeah.
how fast he can be, but he's not that fast all of the time.
Doesn't need to be.
Well, right. But he's got that tool. Like imagine if he was just like a water bug that fast all the time. I do think his game would change. Like he has the ability to slow the game down. That's why he's good on the power play, and he knows how to find space and make things challenging. I mean, he's Coach Zuki with the whiteboard.
Yeah.
How great was that too, Boldy talking about that in the last episode?
Yeah. They were very familiar with Coach Zuki. Before you brought it up. Yeah. No, he's playing great, man. Ageless. He's into that Tom Cruise stuff somehow. He found the fountain of youth, but it's working for him.
Yeah. What's been working for you in terms of new year, new dips? What's on the TV tray right now?
Oh, you can't go wrong with Jimmy's. Family-run Minnesota company, third generation. If I needed to I would get some veggie dips. Maybe get a veggie tray. Get some dill dip. Get some ranch from Jimmy's. Send some dip pics to your friend. Get the setup you have with all the different veggie trays and, document it, share it. That's the way it goes with Jimmy's. Don't ya be messing with my dressing. Now I got to think here.
If you want to keep those pictures safe, you're going to want
to construct something around it.
Because the last thing you want are good quality photographs and to have them
soaking in water.
Something terrible.
Yeah.
All because you didn't have a good roof and a good foundation exterior to your home.
I like
okay?
that. Yeah,
so
that's good.
If you have any anxiety about the things inside your house and having to protect them, call our friends at Wild Construction. They specialize in roof. They do that. They have all the utensils and resources on their website to see if you were within an area that had storms last year. When those storms were, you have up to 12 months with insurance coverage. So make sure you check out those tools. Right now, it's getting cold. There was some snow, so if you're starting to see ice dams, you might have some inefficiencies in your insulation, and that will show up through your roof. And any exterior work that you need done right now, whether it be your siding, maybe your windows replaced, they can help you out. Wildconstruction.com, they'll make it happen.
Good work.
What do we got before we give it? We throw it over to our buddy Craig.
Well, should we talk about? We have the owner on back. Second time. Craig's fun. It's funny when I did my notes with Leipold, it was just all like fun. That's what he likes. That's what he brings. But do you find you prepare different when the owner comes? Like when you have the owner on the show? What was it like when you were looking at your notes and stuff?
Yeah, it's almost like it's his show. So it's almost like he should give us the notes.
I know. Well, I feel the same way with Billy sometimes, where I'll have things I want to talk about, but then when they get here, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to try that. That doesn't seem.
So, like, what was that? What didn't you try?
So I had this whole bit I wanted to do. So I don't know if you know this. So Craig becomes owner in 2008. I hope he hears this And one of his
Well, he proves in the interview that he listens to the podcast.
one of his first like orders as an owner is he created the mascot, Nordy. Okay. So Nordy comes along in 2008, same time Craig buys the team. So Craig created Nordy. So Leipold is like the father of Nordy, or like you ever see like the church painting with the hand touching the other hand, creating life? Like he made Nordy. And I'm just so intrigued by that. Like, do they have a different relationship? Does Nordy talk to Craig and not talk to anyone else? Does he say like, hi, Dad, and stuff? Like, I mean, I think that's interesting. He gave birth to the mascot for the Wild. We would not have a mascot if it wasn't for Craig Leipold. First executive order, basically, right out of the chutes. Nordy. He's Nordy's father. I mean, but I didn't want to ask him about it. It seemed weird. Probably would have been.
Wouldn't that be great if Nordy was like made out of somebody else's image too?
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know, because we work with 40. Sounds a lot like Nordy.
Oh my God, it does kind of sound like that. but I just think, I mean, like I bet when he walks by him and no one's around, he's like, Papa.
So like Nordy, mascots don't talk, but he does. He can say hi to Dad.
I think so, because like he made him. It's like, you know when like Eve takes her rib, or Adam takes the rib to make Eve? Like that's what Craig did for Nordy. He made Nordy. He's Nordy's like father. Or, I mean, that's pretty
So what was the whole
intense.
bit? You wanted to ask him like,
I was just going to I think it was going to go about as bad as this just went for the last 3 minutes. Like, I was just going to kind of go Andy Kaufman and be like, so, you know, are you technically, do you have like guardian rights of Nordy? You know, I don't know. But it's a true thing. I mean, Nordy doesn't exist without Craig. So that's the most unique relationship for our mascot, I think. And I think he probably talks to him when no one's around. I think he does say like, Papa. Like when, like, I think he does. I think this stuff's funny.
Okay.
We can cut it out.
no, I don't think we can. What else did you like from the interview? It's cool to get the owner's perspective.
I like that Craig's willing to have some fun. You know, he's not uptight. Like he gets into the hard trophy and some creative ideas to expand that world. He's a guy. He's a fan. Yeah, I think
He wants to win too.
Oh yeah, he wants to win bad. I think every game he's got a high level of stress watching, and he wants to break through. You know, he wants to be the one to change Minnesota into Minnesota. I thought that was kind of interesting. Like, there can only be one to really flip the switch, and it's very competitive between those teams for sure. But I think it's more fun than you think it would be having the owner on.
Yeah, no, I agree. So let's get to it. Thanks for joining us, Craig. Let's get to him.
All right. Well, we got. I mean, I think I faintly hear "Hail to the Chief" playing because we got a two-time guest. This guy's like,
baby. He's back.
This guy's on the top of the power rankings for the hockey news all the time. He's just board of governors. I mean, he is the dude. Wild owner Craig Leipold, sponsored by Duke Cannon. I know Craig's hair is. He actually asked me if his hair was messy right when he sat down. I said no, because Duke Cannon's going to take care of all that. If you want to look your best, head over to a Target or a hardware store and make your hair a weapon with Duke Cannon. But welcome back, El Jefe, to the program.
Thank you, John.
We're thrilled to have you.
Do you have a LinkedIn page?
I do not.
Because if you did, I'd love to see
I
all
don't.
of the titles underneath it: Board of Governors, Owner of the Wild, number
Top 5 power list.
Yeah. Hockey news.
No, I don't have a LinkedIn page.
Let's make 'em one.
I'm a dinosaur.
We'll make you one.
All right. Okay.
How are things going for you?
Good.
Good New Year?
Really good. Really good. I mean, we got a couple injuries, but that's the way it is in the world of hockey. At least it's the way our world of hockey always goes. But our team has so much heart. Doesn't matter what injuries we have. We're out there playing, giving 100% every night, and it's fun watching this team. So I feel great.
Have you seen anything like it? where a club doesn't matter the obstacle in front of them; they just find a way to persevere?
Honestly, I haven't. We have key injuries out, so it's not inconsequential that. Did you catch that word, John?
That was
that
big.
was-
That was big.
That's not in Wordle. That's way
it'll
bigger.
be my big word of the day.
It's a
good.
Scrabble winner.
It is. It is.
Inconsequential. That was really good. You didn't want to save that for later, build up to it?
I probably should have. I used it a little early, didn't I?
Okay, keep going, keep going.
But yeah, no, it's next man up, and that's how we're playing right now. And we've got so much heart, and it just doesn't matter. We've got a huge contest tonight against Colorado. They're great, and it looks like their injuries are past them. They've had some injuries early on, but most of their guys are back. So it'll be a good test tonight. But all things are good.
Good. And the new year was good. How did you ring in the new year? stay
I
up
was
till
here
midnight?
for the game.
You stay up till midnight?
No, no, I did not. So after the game here, I flew home, and I got home at 11, and I walked in the kitchen and gave my wife a kiss, and I said, "Happy New Year, I'm going to bed." And she said, "Okay, I'll be up in an hour or so," and all good. When she comes up, she brings her our five dogs follow her into our bedroom and up on the bed where I am sound asleep, and that's a typical night for me.
So you have the dogs in the room and in the bed with you guys?
Yes, the answer is yes. Not all 5 of the dogs, and they're labs or retrievers, so they're no chihuahuas or anything. These are all big dogs, and they will typically at the end of after they're done playing, there's only one dog left, and he's the alpha dog, and nobody messes with this guy. And the other dogs jump up and they lick me and they do this whole thing, but eventually they all go to their little spot in the room or the bathroom, and that's where they all lay down.
Well, it makes total sense. I would rush up to get into bed first too if I had to share it with 5 dogs, just to get a little space.
Well, exactly. And I spend many nights in St. Paul at my apartment at the hotel. And the dogs love it so there's more than one dog when I'm the alpha dog, to be honest with you. Okay. But when I'm not there, I've been told by Helen that 2 or 3 dogs will sleep in the bed. Yeah.
Got it.
Any hockey names on the dogs? Can you see any emotion from the past? Is there like a Bugard or is there anything mixed into the hockey names of the 5 dogs?
Well, the 5 dogs are Rookie,
Okay.
Goonie,
Okay.
Gordy,
Yep. I'm catching a pattern here.
okay, Bobby,
Yep.
and
You got a Dino.
no.
This is funny. This is what happens to me when
there's
people
one
say,
miss-
"What's your daughter's birthday?" I have to think
Oh,
so
gosh,
hard about what
don't
kid
ever
goes
go
where.
there. But the 5th name is also a hockey name.
But not in the bed with you, typically. Because I was picturing like a hot dog roller situation.
Yeah.
Like there's 5
No,
lengthwise dogs.
There's just one dog in the bed, and
that's the alpha.
He doesn't bother me. That's the alpha dog, and he is over on Helen's side, and he knows I want to have my own space.
That's good. You said a quote in an NHL.com article. You said, "I've never seen a team that has so much fun as this group," and I kind of wrote "fun" as the theme of you, just in general, just this idea of fun. So, what does that mean to you? Is it just the way the guys are connected? Is it that they're all going out to eat together? They like each other?
Yeah, they like each other. I mean, they like each other. Yeah, and you know that you see them on the plane. They're having fun, and you watch them in practice. They're having fun, and they're yucking it up with each other. And when a team is having fun, it's great for chemistry, and they play together and they play for each other. And this is just a unique team with the leaders that we have are are just phenomenal, and they are true leaders, and they're working the bench and you know, keeping everybody light and happy and, you know, stress free and things like that.
How about your GM? Because he seems to have fun and be fun to be around too. Do you think that the group having fun on the ice starts with the leadership there?
I absolutely do. I mean, you know, Billy at heart, you know, is a player, and I have been told that there was no one that was as much fun being at practice or going out to dinner or, you know, just hanging with than Billy Guerin. You know, he's kind of built in the mold of Marc-Andre Fleury. He, you know, he loves people and has a great time. And so I think the team has kind of taken that personality and it works well.
So with Billy, and I'm going to bring in USA Hockey here. How does it go when your GM is asked to be the GM of Team USA for the Olympics or for Four Nations? Does he come ask you, "Hey, I got this opportunity, can I do it?" Or does USA Hockey ask you? Like how does this go for you?
Well, one of my titles is I'm on the board of USA Hockey.
Oh, okay. Add that to the LinkedIn page.
Yeah, the LinkedIn is
Yeah, if I had a LinkedIn page, you'd know that.
LinkedIn's almost done.
Yes. Okay. I, you know, you're kind of aware of what's going on, but you know, they came and talked to me. We had a conversation, and I don't know if it was before or after they talked to Billy. To be honest with you, I don't remember. But you know, I was obviously very supportive of it, and. You know, but I'll tell you the one thing that bothers me because David Poyle, my GM, had the same job when I was down in Nashville, and every player, every American player, throughout the league, whenever we're playing them, they want to have their best game.
Yeah.
They want to show Billy and at that time David that, hey, I'm here and I want to make your list.
Yeah, it's like Gladiator.
Yeah.
Every night.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't like that. So
It makes it harder.
yeah, it's like, oh gosh, I don't want him spinning. You know, everybody coming in
Why
trying
is
to do their best.
Why is Brock Nelson standing on the boards, pounding his chest?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Yeah.
It's like it. So is that so that couple weeks? You know, you're going to have your guys going against each other. You're going to have maybe, you know, Matt Boldy face washing Eriksson Ek, like all of these strange.
Well, that isn't going to happen. I mean, Eriksson Ek may face wash him.
But how do you just? Will you enjoy it for what it is, or are you just kind of like, let's get through this, nobody get banged up, keep our eyes on the prize, which is the cup, and or can you be like, are you going to be wearing red, white, and blue and having people over? You're just like fast forward button.
I am honestly, and it's it's the same thing whenever we go to the Olympics.
Hold your breath.
I hold my breath.
Yeah.
You know what? I obviously I want the United States to win the gold, and I want them to win and everything. And
And you want Billy to take you to dinner after? Say
Billy does no because I got to pay anyway. So what do I need Billy?
he uses
for?
the company card.
Yeah, he would always use the company card. But I don't think that you know, the players playing each other. I think they have enough respect. You know, I think they'll be fine. But the biggest issue is injuries. I just want my players to come back healthy and no injuries. So
Makes
that's
sense.
the first thing I'm hoping for.
But from a business perspective too, you get to an important time of the hockey calendar where all of a sudden now you don't have games and people are watching hockey, but you don't get to capitalize on some of that opportunity.
Yeah. Well, here at least this is run by the NHL and the NHLPA.
Oh, sure.
So that's really cool. The Olympics, you know.
So at least you get a
That's a whole
at
different.
least you get
that's
a voice.
a whole different animal.
You guys have a voice in some of the stuff.
Absolutely, we have a
Yeah.
big voice,
Yeah,
and we have our own doctors there.
Sure.
And when they go to the Olympics, we don't have our doctors, and we can't even converse with our players. There's such little activity that we can have with our players, that always worries, every team. And but this will be a little different.
Cool. So back to USA Hockey. We just got through watching the World Junior Championships, which will be in town at XL Energy Center next year. How exciting is that?
It's just unbelievably exciting. We can't wait to have it here. We're already selling tickets. Don't ask me how they're doing. Honestly, I haven't paid that much attention. We've had so much going on lately. But it's going to be great for hockey. It's going to be great for Minnesota. And, to have it here and to be able to watch, the best players who are, in their draft year or had just been drafted by a team is going to be a real treat.
Well, I'll tell you what. So this podcast was founded on the thought that we needed to break the mold and that Minnesota needs to turn into Winnesota. And the U.S. has never won in the World Junior Championships a gold medal on U.S. soil. Wow. And that could change. And then they could be the catalyst if let's hope that the Wild win the Stanley Cup this year. And if they do, they'll turn it into Minnesota.
They will. I know the governor will absolutely. He's been thinking about doing that.
Turn it into Minnesota.
Yeah.
But there's also just this culture change where if the U.S. can win in St. Paul at XL Energy Center next year on U.S. soil for the first time, I think we start to get positive momentum. King, are you on?
And that would be 3 in a row.
That'd be
I mean,
three.
That'd be 3 in a row.
And your prospects looked awesome, by the way.
Didn't they?
I mean, my goodness.
Zeev.
Zeev is like, he's got like charisma like Elvis or
he
something.
does.
I'm like watching this guy, he'll be
Yeah.
arguing with someone in the penalty box, and I'm like,
Yeah.
tell me more, Zeev.
Yeah, he will be on this podcast.
Yeah, he is.
Maybe
he is.
even later this season he'll be on this podcast.
No, he was great. We have multiple Finn prospects. They were a great team. So the cupboard is full. It's an exciting time to be a Wild fan. I was going to ask you, I'm going to play off this word fun because I think you're a fun dude, and I think, but I'm curious as an owner, what's more fun? So you had this Wild 6 Blues 4 game, crazy game. Yeah. We're up by 2, they get 4, we get 4. Take the Faber thing out of it, but just kind of a crazy game. Or you have the Wild just suffocating Carolina 4-0. So what do you like? What's more fun for you as an owner? Are you kind of into the roller coaster, the crazy 6-4, or do you just like Rod Brindamore, biting his towel, beat him 4-0? What's a more fun game as
That's a really good question.
Because I have no idea.
There is absolutely
Because fans might
answer.
say this, but I don't know what an owner.
No, the more fun for me is the Carolina game.
Yeah,
I just want to win.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to
No
win.
worry.
No doubt.
I just
No
don't
doubt.
want any doubt. And I'm watching I'm watching the St. Louis Blues game. And
You have no idea.
and I'm going. We're down. It's 4-2. We just blew a 2-goal lead, and how are we going to come back? And Faber's is not playing. Is that the one he got? Yeah. He's not. I mean, so like we had everything going against us. So that was stressful.
So I like this. So
Carolina game
no
was
stress.
Not,
no
was
stress.
not. I'm into no stress.
You
No
want the
stress,
game
fun.
where you read the last page of the book first.
Yes.
Where it's like,
Right.
hey, you're going to really enjoy this.
Yes.
Everything that Brindamore wants his team to do, we're going to do to them, and just take your seat, Mr. Leipold.
I love it.
Okay, so that's good to know. So just no doubt a winner is the way. It's fun
Yeah,
for an
no
owner.
doubt.
Any
It's
superstitions in games like that? Like you
he's
roll
got-
the
you got so
roll
much
the notes
stuff.
the other way, and that's what turned it
No,
around.
no.
You do weird
I
stuff
don't
for sure.
move. I mean, I do the same thing in all the games, but like on shootouts,
Oh, no.
If we're not, so I've done this before where we missed the first 2. I'll move over a seat.
Okay.
Okay, I'll do that.
That helps.
And
That helps.
That does help.
Yeah, it does.
Helps a
It
lot.
You just got to change the energy. It's the butterfly effect.
It is the butterfly effect. Yeah. So I am. I've got a couple little nuances and maybe more even in Wisconsin when I'm watching road games. I won't have a cigar until we score. So we better score early
Because you really want a cigar.
I'd like to have a cigar during the games.
I like withholding joy. That's a good, as a fan, like,
Yeah. I'm
know,
going to suffer a little bit.
I do that. Even I'll be like, I'm gonna have a drink tonight, but I'm gonna wait till they score a goal.
there
And then
you
you
go.
do get the fluke game.
Yeah.
Where you're just like they don't score and you just go to bed angry. You're
Yeah.
just biting your pillow.
Oh, I know. That's
that's
not
no
a
good.
fun. That's not a fun.
So cigar on a goal. That's good.
What do you pair with a cigar? Because I hear you have a nice little wine collection.
I do, but I'll usually do Uncle Nearest.
Oh, sure.
Have a little Uncle Nearest, and I don't go heavy on it, but just a little sipper. So have a little Uncle Nearest and cigar and watch us win.
Sounds like a nice combo. But I've got to get to the bottom of it. What's in the wine cellar?
Wine.
Cabernet.
Cabs. Yeah, I've got a little corner, real small little corner for white wine in case somebody comes in and they want to have a white wine. And otherwise, it's all, it's there's a lot of European wines, there are French wines and Italian wines, but most of them I would say are Napa.
And do you have a favorite?
I do. I've got a couple favorites, but
I feel like
a
you
Della
know.
Valle is a little kind of an unknown wine, and it's a small vineyard in Napa. So good, so good.
So what is the name of it?
Della Valle,
Della Valle.
Della Valle.
Cool.
I'll get you a bottle.
I like
Are
that.
you a wine guy?
Yeah.
Oh no, that doesn't.
I
sound-
don't have
That's
a
like,
s-
do you golf?
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't have a cellar with French and Italian and.
But you enjoy
and
wine.
little known vineyards from Napa. But yes, we do have
Okay.
wine at the
Okay.
house in stock all the time.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. All right.
No cellar though.
No cellar.
No cellar.
Nope. I've got a big house, but none of it is for me. It's all for the kids. There's
Yep.
toys in every corner, every nook and cranny. Nothing for me though.
You got to do stuff for yourself.
I'm
Just
starting
a
to figure
thought.
that out.
Just a thought.
I'm starting to figure that out.
Hey, I made a game for him, Carts,
I like it.
because I
Wait,
know
Hold on. Can I talk about this real quick? Like, talk about fun. Look at this. Look at his preparation. He hasn't even opened up his thank you card. What is that?
this is a Christmas card that I never sent. That's my return address right there.
Oh my God.
And I didn't have any paper, and so I'm writing on that. It's got a gold seal. It's like
does.
it's
That's
like
I thought it was sealed with
impressive.
wax.
it's like it's a symbol of
thought it was-
respect to you
Wow.
and your family and the other Leopolds
Yeah,
spelled
that are
differently.
here.
So we know you listen to every episode and and you take notes and everything.
Yep.
So this is a game where it's 2 truths and a lie.
Okay.
So I'm just going to tell you 3 things. You got to tell me which one is not true.
Okay.
This is about you, Kinger?
It's things he would know from the show.
Oh, the
Oh,
podcast.
okay. Got it.
So Boldy has won the hard trophy that the team gives out. That's one. Daniel Spurgeon has a Lego obsession. I eat most of my meals on a TV tray. One of those things is not true. Which one is it?
You do not eat most of your meals on a TV tray.
Turns out I do. But Boldy has not had the hard trophy yet from the team.
He has not.
He has not. As of when we just talked to him, he has not.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's
We would
one.
have had to. We didn't know that either. We found that out Monday today.
Yeah, he let us.
Okay. All right.
He let us know. So
Okay.
let's do one more at
Can we
least.
talk about the Hart Trophy?
Yes.
Yeah. We should go. So you asked us something when
Do you like a hard
arrived.
trophy?
Do I like it?
You'd like to modify it.
I think it. I liked how it
What it means?
started and what the meaning is behind it, and I think that's really all good. But I do think that to give someone a trophy, which is basically you're giving your all to win a game. All right, whatever it takes, I'm going to win this game, and I'm going to show all of my teammates that I'm going to sacrifice whatever
Whatever it takes.
So my idea is that we go to the medical group, the doctors, who were the first ones to work on Zuccarello's cup when it was damaged, and get that cup, which has been dented in and
Yeah, we haven't seen a visual. We
got to
that.
see it. First of all, we have to see the cup. But to put a chain around the cup and give that as This is proof that you are dedicated to doing whatever it takes to win at all times.
This is
and you
so
put
good.
that around your neck.
This is so good because there's so many levels to it. Because it's the cup, right?
Oh my God.
Oh my God!
Wow.
You're
Because
taking
it's
this
the
to
cup.
places
Wow.
I never even thought of.
No, you thought of this. This is your idea.
Because it's the cup.
You're celebrating the cup because it embodies sacrifice
Yes.
and injury
Yeah.
and pain and a willingness to do that for your teammate. And in the end,
Yeah.
it's all in the name of winning.
Yeah.
Well, and is
need the
there?
cup. So we
there's
have
no
to get the
better
cup.
proof than that.
There's no better.
I mean, like one thing is
No
like
better proof.
one thing's an idea, right? Choose your hard, go to Home Depot, work on something in the garage. But then over here,
Yeah.
a young man
Yeah.
nearly gave. He only has 2 of them. Just about gave 1.
Because it's the cup.
And what we heard was when the guys came into the locker room. We haven't really talked about this because it's scary to me. Like I don't even want to joke about it. Like it seems so sensitive. But I heard when they got into the locker room, it was just hanging up and just has a huge dent in it.
No.
Yeah, like-
so we have
I have heard
We have to. You
it
could
is
get Tony
dented.
DaCosta.
It is dented,
we
and
gotta get it.
because I assumed he didn't wear a cup because he's Zuki, he's
Yeah,
a
they
vet,
couldn't get one that
and maybe
small.
guys don't, maybe guys don't wear them
Yeah.
anymore. It's
Oh.
like when you see wide receivers with their leg pads up, but
Yeah.
they're like, no, it dented it. Yeah, so there's a full-on car crash protective cup out there.
All right. So we need to get that.
I don't know if the guys would want to
wanna
wear
throw this in.
that around their neck though. Like,
oh, well, yeah, they
is that
would.
different?
It's still about sacrifice.
Well,
You have
it's
to
got to be
sacrifice.
it's got to be a big.
Does
chain.
that
You don't
change
want
it though?
up
Like
here,
so you're saying like a goalie has the
You'd have to make the chain
you'd
really
have to
long.
be
you got to make the
underneath.
chain long.
Yeah,
they don't want it too close to their
Right.
chin.
Yeah, it's got to be like dragging on the ground.
So when this happened and it became known that it was the cup, my son immediately first question he asked, "Does Zuki have children yet?"
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I said, "Yeah, he's got 2."
Yep.
Yeah, and he goes, "Oh, good," because if he,
Yeah, and I understand. I think he's fine even now,
Good.
even with that. But
Good.
that was just a tough one.
yeah,
and
I didn't want to think about
and friendly fire
But
too.
Yeah,
love the
friendly fire.
idea. Love the idea.
it. Yeah. Okay, so I'm
I
throwing
can tell
it out
you've
there.
been sitting in marketing meetings.
Oh,
You get
we
it.
talk about this.
This is a really good. I mean, I do think it needs an extender though. It has to be underneath the regular hard because you don't want it right on your jawline.
So
No,
maybe
no,
we
you
grab
can't.
like 120-inch laces and we use that to tie it up. So it's like
way down.
Yes.
Way down. Yeah. Yes.
Can you imagine that conversation? Hey,
Great.
apparently Craig was on a podcast.
I'm picturing just the cup part because the cup is the insert, not like the jock.
Jock. No,
Just the cup.
Just the cup.
Just the cup.
The other thing we could do
all.
is the little kid could come out at the start just holding it.
Oh, you guys are taking this all to a entirely
Yeah,
different
John's
level
an-
that I haven't been thinking.
John's an
So,
idea guy.
Yeah.
All right. You have more 2 truths and a lie, John?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry.
Okay, 3 things. Pick the lie. Carter has recreated the Hard Trophy for his youth hockey team. Gus Bus nickname is because Gus's father actually drove a bus. Matt Boldy sleeps with one leg out of the sheets at hotel rooms.
No, the one leg thing's got to be right because that's so goofy that it's got to be true. And I got to go, and I'm sure Cart stole the idea from the. Yeah, so it's got to be Gus.
You nailed it.
Nailed it. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's hear a little applause. Okay,
The best
so-
part about that was that he used deductive reasoning, not.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, okay, Carter didn't have an idea, took it. Okay. Okay, one more.
Okay. Yeah.
Brock Faber and Matt Boldy can enter a Cheesecake Factory, look through the menu, order, eat, and leave within 10 minutes. That's one. Zeev Buyum, even though he's under 20 years old, picked Freebird as the goal song for Team USA. And Marcus Foligno suggested that Marco Rossi pass more, and he got 4 assists the next day. Which one of those is a lie? Foligno advice to Rossi: pass more.
I thought it was Zuccarello's advice. So
Stick with your gut. Stick with your gut.
Yeah.
Yes,
Go with
this guy is dialed in. I love it. That went okay. I was trying to. I'm like, what do I want to come up with some reindeer
But
games.
how did they get out of a Cheesecake Factory in 10 minutes?
So he saw it happen. They said they pre-scouted the menu. That's their language, which is a little scary to begin with.
Yeah.
I think they got the person right away and was like, "Here's what's going to happen here."
Like the host sat them down and they
Yeah.
ordered dinner from the
Yeah,
host.
and then they were on their way.
Oh, smokes.
And apparently they're both quite fond of the Cheesecake Factory.
Well, it is pretty good stuff.
Oldie's wanting to go back when he's trying to work out of stuff, and Faber's like, "No, we're good."
Yeah.
But that's a quick turn at the Cheesecake.
Yeah, that's fast. Agreed.
So, is it meaningful to you to be on the Hockey News' list of most powerful people? Is that meaningful? 'Cause if it's not,
could
be
okay.
pleased
So
to me
first
that.
of all,
That'd be meaningful to me.
I could immediately say, "Oh no!"
Oh, you're
has
saying
no
give your
value to
spot.
me. I don't
Yeah,
care.
can
where
I
I'm
have your
listed.
spot?
Yeah, you should
I
give your
don't
spot
care.
to Kurtz. If
I
it's
would
not
be happy
meaningful,
to. It's I'm at the point where the longer you're there, that you know,
but how cool is that?
it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Nobody. No, I'm like my friend. Although all of my friends get the Hockey News, and this is been going out for 20 years. Because I pay for them because I want them to know what's going on.
Sure, you have them.
Yeah,
set
with
there?
the team and everything. So, and maybe that's why they put me, because I buy so many Hockey News publications.
You're their largest subscriber.
I
so
might
they're
be.
like-
I have a lot of friends and family, and they all get it.
Yeah,
But no,
I
that
doubt
doesn't.
that.
It doesn't have.
it's a good. What is it? Power and influence. I mean, do you ever see somebody that's maybe like 9th on the list, eating somewhere and you're 5th, and you just like take their table?
No, but
they're
I
there
have
with
seen
like their
people
wife,
who
and
are
you're like,
ninth.
I would like. Mr. Leopold is going to.
Yeah.
If
Well,
you could get up.
And the way I look at that is, like, sometimes I use this exercise in my head where it's like I have a grandchild on my knee and I want to tell them stories about my life. And one that would be really cool is to say, I have influence over the greatest game on earth, right? Like at its highest level, and you have an impact on the future and where hockey is going. And I don't know. I think that's pretty cool.
Well, that's a really cool way to look at it. But I can tell you, absolutely, there is no one in my family that has ever looked at the Hockey News publication of Power and Influence, and they have no idea that I'm on this list.
Yeah, which I understand, but I still think the meaning is there. Where
Yeah.
it,
No,
where
that's-
where
I
it's
mean, that's a
cool,
cool thing.
Yeah, you're like consistently top 5. You're way up.
and
on
it's just like you have an impact on the game of hockey, like on the entire.
I love the
entire game.
I love that idea.
That is
I
cool.
think that's I mean, I love
I'm
this
jelly.
game. There's a lot of great things about this game. And,
Yeah,
and
it's
so,
the greatest
yeah,
game.
It is totally the
and
greatest game.
yeah,
I believe that.
Do you have any memorabilia? Like, do you collect anything, or do you want a Ovechkin stick, or I mean, is there a side of you that's a fan? Like in your basement, you have gloves from guys or
I've got
anything? or-
lots of stuff.
Yeah, like
So,
what do you like? Like
well,
what do you think's cool?
I have a lot of jerseys. So when I was in Nashville, every time a team would come to Nashville, our head of communications guy would always go, and his name is Jerry Helper, and he would go to the opposing team and say, hey, whoever their marquee player is, can I get 2 jerseys and both signed? And one goes to the foundation, and he would bring me the other one. So I have a closet upstairs with everybody's jersey, like their rookie year, and he dates it down on. So we know when I got the jersey. So I've got
That's awesome.
so many sweaters up in the closet, and I've got a number of pucks and bobbleheads. I've kept all the bobbleheads.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
25 years, so I got a lot of bobbleheads. But I don't know. I guess you could say I collect them, but I don't like the sweaters. I don't display them anywhere. They're just up in a closet.
Yeah.
Do you have a '97 sweater in your?
Yes, I do. Yes,
I do too.
Of course I do.
What's it like having?
I don't have your sweater though.
Well,
To be honest with you.
well, it's really rare. I think 3 people do: my mother, my father, and my wife. There's only 3 of them.
Well, okay, I'll talk to your wife, see if I can't get a hold of one.
Yeah, they're in high demand now, based on scarcity.
Scarcity.
But no, but having Kirill in the organization, like how has it changed, and what's it like having a guy that is that talented, that much of a superstar, and how does that affect the business from bringing more people into the building to national attention to all of that?
You're beginning to sound a little bit like his agent. Yeah, well, it is phenomenal to have somebody like Kirill with his skill level, and not only that, he has a personality, and he is driven. You know, you guys see it. He practices hard. He's he's a person that you watch on the ice, and he gives it his 100% all the time. But he is a difference maker. I've never had a player ever that was at the skill level that he is on my team, and we will do well. We're going to resign him. It's just all there is to it.
And I think that's not a slight on Marion Gabrick or anybody else that's come through. It's more of a feather in Kirill's cap. Like, he's different.
He's different.
He
is a different.
And you don't even know it until like you see it, and it even takes time. It's like, like he's special.
Yeah.
In like a way that's hard to describe. You agree with that?
I totally agree with that. And it's reinforced by other teams who come through and other reporters and announcers. As you're talking to them, they automatically want to go, and they got to ask you questions about Kirill. What's he like? And
it's
and all that. He's great.
It's becoming a national story. You're seeing more and more players saying, "This guy is playing a game at a different level. A lot of things away from the puck. He's playing a perfect hockey game some nights." So you saw maybe Taylor Hall talking about just all the little shading he's doing away from the play, and just watched him all night. He's like, I think he honestly played a perfect hockey game.
Wow.
So he also is he's a winner. I mean, he seems to be kind of like he likes hockey, and even when he got the A, I'll never forget him just going, I think we know why we're here.
Yeah.
And he did, but I think, even as a franchise, it's good to have somebody like him wearing a letter and, a big star.
Absolutely. He deserves the letter. And it's, the thing I love about him, all he wants to do is win. That's all he wants. And, we're going to, I think we're showing him that we are building a really good team. We, being Billy Guerin and his staff, are building a great team that has a big window that's going to be open for a long time. We got young guys that were coming in, and so that'll be fun. We hope to be able to watch him too.
Yeah, that'll be great. How about and this is a little bit of a loaded question, but XL Energy Center maybe getting a facelift at some point in the future. Can you talk about that at all?
Well, there's obviously a lot going on right now, and the X is 25 years old.
Now there's other buildings around the league that are similar age that have not aged as well as XL Energy Center. Like it's aged well. It's still it is nice
aged well
building.
But what you can't see is what's behind the walls.
Sure.
All right. And it's a beautiful building. In fact, we're going to keep the building. All right. So the actual building itself will be there, but we need to gut it completely and bring in all of the new security measures and safety measures, and we need 2 new escalators and all the wiring. I mean, I'm looking at this podcast, and you look at all of this. You think this was around 25 years ago when the building was built? Absolutely not. So everything needs to be done differently, and with the new facilities that have been built in Minneapolis, you know, our fans are looking for the same experience that they go to a football game and they see what that stadium has, and then the Twins, and they come to ours, and we don't have a lot of that stuff. So you know, the city, it's their building, they own the building, and you know, our hope is to get it passed in the legislature this session, and we're going to work hard to do it.
How exciting would that be? But I like the points you make too. That it's an infrastructure change. It's accessibility, so all fans can be there. Updating the experience for them, so that it's to the standards of 2025 versus the year 2000.
Yeah,
and
right.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
so
that's
much
from the
is-
bathrooms. That's to the
the
concessions.
bathrooms, the kitchens, everything. It just all needs to be changed, and you know, you can do it by throwing $150 million at it every 5 years, or you just fix it, and you do it right. And you know, the mayor of St. Paul, Mayor Melvin Carter, is very supportive, and as is the county and the city. So we like the direction we're going in.
I mean, it's the centerpiece of St. Paul, so
It
if
is.
we can
It
put the
is.
work in to make it be as great for the next 25 as it was for this, that would be a home run
Yep.
for sure.
Yep.
Anything we asked you? What's the mood of the nation? This is my last one. Is when you're getting gas somewhere, or you're like, what are people saying to you? Are they like, do fans come up to you? Do they, are they excited about the season? Are they nervous? Like, what do you?
Yeah.
They telling you to
oh.
sign?
Or what's your
Kirill,
group
or-
chat? What's your group
Yeah,
chat like?
what's the
My group chat. Well, you know, it's like today. I went in. I've got a shoulder that's a little, hurts a little bit, so I had
so
an
upper body injury?
MRI. An upper. I have.
But
an
technically,
upper
I
body.
think you should
You're
say
right.
lower body
Yeah,
injury.
it's, yeah, just
if
so
it is
that
upper
it
body, just so
confuses
yeah.
them.
Okay, good.
So you know, I go in and there are 5 people sitting just waiting, and 2 of them had wild hats on.
Perfect.
All right, and I'm going, yes, you know, if that, you know, we're, you know, people are recognizing that we are an exciting team to watch. We're fun to watch. You know, winning is always great, and it's a lot of fun. And you know, when I'm at the St. Paul Hotel and I'm walking over to the arena, I'll be stopped by I don't know how many people that will want to talk about a game, or how's this player, or when's this one coming back, and you know, they all know what's going on. So you know, the state of our business is very, very good, and you know, it's, you know, this is the state of hockey, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun being the owner of this team.
Yeah, I would think so.
Cool. What's the temperature in your booth going to be like in March when you're chasing a playoff game, and you're going to be? I mean, we're going to be in that booth like 17 times the month of March.
I hope so.
But how, like the schedule? How? Lastly, we're just turning the halfway point, and the club has done a really good job putting themselves in the position that they are. Now, how excited are you about the final 40 games, and a lot of them at home, and the chance to secure a playoff spot with a heavy home schedule?
Yeah. Well, we're a pretty good road team.
Yeah, so maybe
I don't know.
we'll give some of these back.
Yeah,
we'll plan the road.
Schedule
I am
circus.
so excited. I can't believe we're halfway through the season. I really can't. 41 games we played, 41 more to go. It's going to be an exciting run. I'm not, you know, my calendar is completely open. I'm not planning anything. I'm going to be at all the games. I'll probably go to a few more road games than I have previously.
Well, I would too if it was. Well, we know that if all those dogs are in, I'd be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot
The
of
dogs are.
I gotta
voting
get on the
for it.
road again.
Yeah, the dogs are hoping that I go.
Yeah, more room.
Yeah, it gives them more room.
Yeah. Well, cool. Yeah. Good luck the rest of the way. Thanks for carving out some time. We know you're busy, so appreciate that very much.
You guys are doing a really fun job. I mean, it is fun to watch your.
We're trying to help people. Minnesota sports fan needs medicine. We're trying to.
Yeah, we're all trying.
And your
to
team's been doing it too.
Yeah,
You know, it's more fun, and let's stop worrying and let's have a breakthrough.
that's right.
It's overdue.
Exactly.
It's
Let's
overdue.
do it.
Thanks for being here.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Take care.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Craig.